1945, my grandmother and a set of ladies used to frequently go, after 1943, they used to frequently go to Puttaparthi to meet Swami on all festivals. And when they went there, they were the core people who sang in front of Swami. Those days, bhajans were not there. Those were more of namavalis. They used to sing like longer songs, apparently. And they used to be the core people. In fact, my grandmother and her sister were called as Patala Ammailu by Swami. I mean, the sisters who sing. That's how Swami used to refer to them. And these set of ladies used to go to Puttaparthi and sing all the time. And singing was a very integral part of their life. When they returned from Parthi, between festivals, they used to feel miserable because they used to miss singing in front of Swami. So one of the ladies suggested, why are we feeling so sad that we are not able to sing in front of Swami? Why don't we have bhajan sessions in our own homes? It will give us a chance for us to come together, talk about Swami, and also sing the bhajans that we wanted to sing. And everybody got really excited about this idea and said, yes, why don't we start doing this? So they gathered, they finalized the date. They started on a Thursday. Every Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m., let's assemble in one of our homes. Let's take turns to host this bhajan sessions every week. And all the men came, the children came. It was almost like a festival every single week. They gathered there and they started to sing bhajans. They did this for 1 full year. And then they wanted to celebrate the first year anniversary. They said, we've done this for 1 full year and it's a really big achievement for us in our family. We've set up a new culture for our younger generation as well. So why don't we celebrate this? And one lady came up with the thought, why don't we do bhajans for 24 hours? And that's the beginning of Akhand Bhajan. 1946, that's when they decided, saying, we've completed 1 full year, so let us go do 24-hour bhajan. And that was this, they called it Akhand Bhajan. Everybody loved the thought. They said, it's a wonderful thought, we should do this. They started to plan for the event in one person's house, one of the ladies' house. And they said, they told my grandmother and my great-grandfather. My great-grandfather lived in Parthi those days. He was the pujari there. They said, why don't you go and inform Swami that we are doing this? So my grandmother went to Parthi and my great-grandfather and my grandmother went inside the, Swami called them for interview, and there were few other people also in the interview room. They went inside and told Swami, Swami, we've finished 1 year in having bhajans in our homes and we want to celebrate this. We want to do Akhand Bhajan. Swami was extremely pleased by this thought and they said, very good, please go ahead and do this. I will be there, I will come to Bangalore. And they said, Swami, wait, we don't want you in Bangalore. We have just come here to inform you. We didn't come here to invite you, frankly. And they said, what is this? And there were other people there and Swami looked at them and said, what are these people saying? I am telling them I will come there. And they are saying, don't come. And my grandmother fell at his feet and said, Swami, we are very poor people. If you come, there will be large crowds. We need to make lot more arrangements. It is frankly a big headache for us. We don't want, just give us your blessing. It is good. Looking at their plight, there were few more people in the interview room and one elderly lady volunteered and said, no, don't worry. If your house is very small, I have a big hall in the outskirts of Bangalore. I will lend it to you. We will give it to you. Why don't you do it there? So they said, okay, it was in Magadi Road, for those of you who are familiar in Bangalore. And they said, we can't go there. We don't have means to go there. There was an Inspector General of Mysore State in the interview room. And he said, I will give my car, my jeep, to transport people. Please take that. And my grandmother and my grandfather was at utter disbelief to say, what is this happening? We have never thought of something like this. And there was another gentleman there and he had a flower showroom in Bangalore and he said, I will offer the flowers. Another lady said, I have a huge photo I will offer that photo. So literally everybody in that room said, we will help you do it. So please do an Akhand Bhajan as a bigger event. And Swami kept laughing and then said, don't worry, I will take care. You go make the arrangements. I will be there. And true to his word, he came on Wednesday. He said, I will come there on Wednesday itself. And they planned a huge event. And when he came, there are so many people who started pouring in. And at some point, they had to take a call and they said, no, stop it. Now, we don't want so many people. I don't think we can manage. We don't even have prasadam for them. And they said, they closed the door and started to send back people. They said, no, this is a private event. We are not open to everybody. And they said, Swami appeared in our dream and have called us, so we are invited to this. So they had no ways to say, don't come in. So they let people in, and it became such a huge gathering. My grandmother went again to Swami and said, Swami, you need to safeguard our honor. Now, that is such a huge gathering. We don't have prasadam. We can't give and feed all these people. Now, what have you done? And Swami said, don't worry. He came to the kitchen behind, and there were small vessels of prasadam made, and then he put akshata on them and said, Akshayam, Akshayam, Akshayam. Go feed everybody with these vessels. Every single person who was there was fed sumptuously, and it never got over. That is how the first Akhand Bhajan started in 1946. And I want to share another trivia with you on the Akhand Bhajan. On the third year, this was the first year, on the third year of Akhand Bhajan, Swami apparently asked my grandmother, can you people sing Sai Hare, Baba Hare for Akhand Bhajan? And my grandmother confidently nodded and said, yes, Swami, of course we can sing. And Swami said, you have to sing this for 24 hours. Just those 4 words. So, they actually composed Sai Hare and Baba Hare in 100 different tunes. And for third Akhand Bhajan, they sang only this. And that was the only Akhand Bhajan this happened. And I just wanted to share one thing. My mother was there during those days, so I actually asked my mother to sing one of those tunes. And I just wanted to share it with you.
Sai Hare, Sathya Sai Hare, Hare Sai Hare, Sathya Sai Hare, Hare Baba Hare Sai, Baba Hare, Hare Baba Hare Jai, Baba Hare Jai, Baba Hare Jai, Baba Hare Jai, Sai Hare, Sathya Sai Hare, Hare.
This particular song, for the next 25 years, this was the first bhajan they sang in every single Akhand Bhajan. My grandmother used to sing this. They used to start the Akhand Bhajan with this very bhajan for 25 years. And after 25 years, Swami said, you have done enough now. Let this become a global phenomenon. And that's when he declared and said, from next year it will be a global Akhand Bhajan. Sir, can you just click once? I don't know how clearly you're able to see. That is the picture of Swami entering the Akhand Bhajan hall in Bangalore on the left side. On the right side, I think the lights, if they're on, I think they can see. So Swami on the left-hand side picture is where he is entering the Akhand Bhajan hall. On the right to Swami, as in when we see, on the right side, that is my grandmother. On the right-hand side, the person on the left is my great-grandfather. He is doing the arti for when Swami was there, sitting there in the Akhand Bhajan. His name is Sheshgiri Rao. Sorry, his name is Sheshgiri Rao. He was the first pujari in Puttaparthi. And the bottom, that's an interesting thing which my mother narrated to me. If you see that Om, they are made of small dots. Each of the dot is actually a bilva leaf in gold. So when they presented Swami the Arati, so he materialized bilva leaf and poured into that. And then when he asked them to pick it up later after everything, they picked it up and he said, count them. And they kept counting and it was not 108. And I think more than one person counted and it never added up to 108. And Swami said, give me, you don't know how to count. And one by one he kept counting. And it turned out to be 108. So now they've made it into a small portrait in my aunt's house and they have a small picture on the wall. So I just thought I'll share some moments of 1946 Akhand Bhajan moments with all of us today.